this is going to be something that maybe you can look at whether you're young or mature or in between and trying to find someone and try to find out how they react things that you do. Some of the things that I'll talk about is the way that you want to do your life should be the way that you show them how you really are, and not try to pretend that you're someone that you're not. And what I mean by this is, if you're going to take someone out and you start dating, is I think you should be honest with them, not just verbally, but with also your mental attitude. And so, one of the things that you need to do is to take them to places that you want to go, have a nice time, and something that you're willing to keep up with. So, like, for example, if you want to date, go out and do things that you enjoy. Go eat, go to a movie, go to a park, go walking, things like that. And then make sure that you both are on the same page about how you want to do things. And one of the things that you need to look out for is, maybe they want to have, and you need to find this out, maybe they want to have nice things and spend money on clothes and buy the latest styles. One of the funniest things that I see is the styles for women, and I think all of the clothing companies beat up women with new styles they come out with. But like, all of the jeans that I see that have the knees out of them or holes in them, and you buy them that way, and they cost twice as much, because like, the process is they make the jeans, then they have to run them through a machine to cut the holes in them. So if that's what they want, is keep up with the latest style, and you don't agree with that, then you need to make sure you're both are clear on that, because I'm going to go back to becoming a millionaire. If you want to have finances, you can't be just throwing your money away on a recent style. So, like, one funny thing is, never throw away your jeans, because they'll come back in style, and and also you may gain weight, lose weight, or whatever, and those jeans will fit forever. And of course, I've mentioned going to places like Sam's or Costco and buying your clothes, because they're very inexpensive, and you may not be in style. But back on the jeans with the holes in the knees, why don't you just buy a pair of cheap jeans and then cut the holes out yourself? I remember a long time ago, people used to take their old jeans that were worn out and they turn them into jean shorts. And after you cut the legs off, you would just start pulling on the threads. You'd have some strings hanging down, and that was the style. And so you got a dual purpose on one pair of jeans. So I think style is a major thing that you need to look at. Now, I look at it this way: you need to have nice clothes to go out. Yeah, like, men need to have suits, nice polo shirts, which again you can buy, at Sam's or Costco. But slacks, nice jeans, and then don't worry so much about what people think. Now, I always want my wife to look good, and she found a place called Stitch Fix, and then you get on there, and they have people that will help you with what clothing you want. So I wanted her to look good, and she needed some new clothes, and she got on there, and they have style experts that will send stuff out, and you can send it back. I think it's a very good company at very reasonable prices on some of it, if you're paying attention to what's on sale. And then you can have some nice things. But like, how many pairs of shoes do you need? How many purses do you need? And this is where you really need to start looking at it and see how they feel. And if you find someone who is, and like, men or women, it's both. But if you find someone who's got to have the latest trends, and they have 10 pairs of slacks or jeans, and then they switch to the others, that may not be the person that you want to be with, because it may become really hard for you to support them and believe in what they're doing. And so, one of the things that you need to understand, it is hard to communicate that, and then you want to impress someone. But I think, and this is an example I gave a young man one time. He and I were talking, and he was dating, and he didn't have a lot of money. And at this time, it was quite a few years ago when I say this, because they had the dollar movies. Yes, there were dollar movies around, and they went up to $2. And I said, just take her to the dollar, go out and have something to eat, not very expensive, and take her to the dollar movie. And he said, but if I do that, she'll think I'm cheap. And I said, well, then to me, she's the wrong person to be with. And he looked at me really strange, and I said, what you really want to do is you really want to take them out, and if they're not impressed and don't like it, then you know that's not the person you want to be with. And then if you take them out and they're happy and they say thank you for taking to the movie, and they don't mention that it's a dollar movie, then I think you found the person that's going to fit into your lifestyle. And also, I think people like this are a lot happier just getting out to do something. You don't have to go out to the best restaurant in town and spend $300 like that. And you can go somewhere nice, ask them where they want to go. Go to a neat hamburger place or go to a different kind of restaurant, have a hot dog, just simple things, and like, Chinese food, just something like that. But just enjoy the simple things, and watch for how much money you're trying to spend. And in today's world, I mentioned the dollar movies, and so I was looking at movie prices, and the theater close to me is like $15 or $20 per person. And then, of course, if that we was talking about the popcorn and the drinks, it could be a $100 date at the movies. By the time you buy all that stuff, but just find someone who's willing to go to a movie with you. And I found a movie, and I'll just say it is Gladiator 2. And I was looking around, and the place close to me was 15 each, and a place right downtown that is at the matinee is $8. So I know if you work Monday through Friday, or you've got days off during the week, you can always go to the matinee for about half the price of the evening. And then it gives you, if you want to buy some popcorn or drinks there, you can, or something. Or if you want to go in the evening, just go for and just go for the movie, and make that clear to someone. And because I'm sure they're on a budget, and I've talked before about, are you going to split the bill? Are you going to pay for hers all the time? Is she going to pay yours one time and you pay hers the next time, which is basically splitting the bill? But you need to be fair to each other and not put a financial burden on each other. And this is kind of a funny story. I'll try to say it very carefully. But one time, I was talking to some young men about women, and he said, I would never pay for intimate relations, at all. And I said, do you take your girlfriend out to dinner than a movie? And he goes, I am paying for intimate relations. And so you have to kind of laugh at that. But you need to treat women nice, but find a woman who understands what you're trying to do. And then women, you need to understand where the man you're seeing is coming from. If he's trying to save money for a Roth IRA and he has a certain amount of budget, and that's it. Now, one thing I do recommend is, I talked to a young woman the other day. I think she was 30 and married, no kids, and they usually went on a cruise. And so I think cruises are great. I've been on some, but when I was younger, I went to resorts. And she goes, I've never been to a resort. And I looked at her and I said, I think resorts are the best thing there are. Jamaica has a lot of nice ones, and it's almost a straight shot there. But the thing about it is, at the resort, you can go out there, swim in the ocean, swim in the pool. And if you get an all-inclusive, you just stick your stick in the sand with a red flag, and they come, take your order, and they bring it to you. And they have really nice food. Another place to go is the Dominican Republic. Like if you go to Jamaica, you might have to drive an hour and a half to get to the west side of the island from the airport. The Dominican Republic, it has some really nice ones that you can look up. And you don't necessarily need to go to the ones that are, secrets, name brands. You can go to some of the others. But just go out and have a good time. And then there's your budget of how you want to do it, and have a lot of fun. I hope this helps you. And as usual, like, subscribe, ring the bell, make a comment. And then if you want to tell people about this channel to try to help them manage through life. And if there's any comments or questions you have, let me know, and I'll make sure and answer them. Thank you. Have a good day.